All right, on Indian Trace by now, I think if you've tuned in, you're pretty well set to see some awesome artifacts. I don't control that. I mean, if you approach it scientifically, look at this. I mean, since the last video, I've been picking them up. I mean, and it's not like Easter Sunday. It's not like picking up Easter eggs. You got to do your work. And the one thing that I will make mention of, and a lot of you guys will relate to, look at these points. Unbelievable. Is that you approach it scientifically, understanding conditions, locations. You will be successful. Let me show you something before we take a better tour of that. And I mean, I'm actually mind blown. I had somebody tell me, now look at this piece. One of the best hammerstones I've ever found. Hopefully the exposure come out. It's a little overcast. This was a completely round stone like I find them. Take a look at this. I'm praying that this will come in. Now look at this work area. This is all been nibbled right off. That is a complete work area for a hammerstone. If you could feel, this is absolutely perfect. You can see how round the stone was, and they took quite a bit of time here to take off that outside edge and the whole other half of the stone. At least a third of it. Look at the workmanship on this thing. Look how that's worked off. To me, why is that significant? It took a long time to do that. Now we're talking about maybe 5 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 10 years. I do know that they would pass favorite tools on and they would hold on to them. But we don't know it as we should, because we're talking about 4,000, 5,000 years ago. Unbelievable hammerstone right there, if you can pick up on that. My word. But let's look at these. I mean, I've been blessed, and I've got another smoking point in the ground here, and I knew it would come where I'd be able to have a feature point. And a lot of these could have been, but I simply am limited by time. That's my limit. So I've got to get done as much as I can get done. I like this point right here. And look at this piece. And when you're limited to time, you want to really just do your best to get out there. And this stone, what I was saying, is responsible for what they really needed was armor piercing, skin piercing tips. Eastern Central North Carolina here. We're at Crystal Beach. Look at this point. Interesting stuff, right? Look at this quartz work. Crystal Beach. See the quality of that quartz? Sugar quartz next to it. Nice piece right here. So, I mean, you could take a long time with all this stuff. I know I'm throwing you around, but and I don't want to do that. I just want to give you a good look at some really great artifacts and do my best to show them. Now, let's take a look at what I saw and said, man, we got to really go ahead and make a film, document this stuff for posterity. I don't know if it's full yet. It could be. And I had somebody say, you know, you post videos more than I even find artifacts, and it really humbled me, you know. I actually try, as you can see with all those artifacts past, to limit my posting because of that. Not because, you know, I could post as much videos as somebody could, you know, just find artifacts. Some people don't find many at all, which is why I press myself to share a lot, that sort of thing. Just missing the tip on that, but that's a good find, you know, right out of the dirt. I had to get those others. Look at this banded rhyolite. But it humbled me, you know, posting more videos than somebody is finding artifacts. I can't, you have to understand, I can't even imagine, because this sites that I've discovered and understood and turned the woods and the fields and everything inside out. That's a nice point, isn't it? That's all I've known. And I developed my science to finding points and success to finding points with the way I've been able to just have what I can get to. I don't travel. I don't go anywhere. This is just what I got, you know. It's a nice point. So it's very difficult for me to travel anywhere long distances. So I just do the best I can, and then I share it. So I don't have a perspective of, you know, traveling for miles and miles and miles and just finding a few points. I don't even know if I would do it if I traveled that far and worked that hard and didn't find much. I don't know if I'd do it. I mean, because this warps your brain right here. Gives you a completely different perspective about what's out there. Now, I'm out to prove the inexhaustible character of these ancient North American Indians. This is a nice hammerstone. Look at that. Mercy. All right, this has been long enough. Really appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. Hope you find out there.